Hey everybody, Krista here with Krista's Event Concepts. I'm so excited about today for our lunchtime lessons. I have the beautiful J.Ladson of J.Ladson Weddings on with us, and she's going to talk to us a little bit about wedding coordination, and we're going to talk a little bit about how we met and all that good stuff. But she has been just a wonderful mentor as far as wedding coordination is concerned, and I definitely wanted to give you guys a little bit of her grace. So without further ado, let Jade introduce herself.
Thank you so much, Krista. Hi, everyone. As Krista mentioned, I'm J.Ladson, owner and certified wedding planner with J.Ladson Weddings. I've been planning for a little over 25 years. Not gonna give you an exact number because then you'll know my age, but I've had my company for 18 years, pretty much since shortly after my daughter was born. And we definitely specialize in wedding planning. However, we occasionally will veer off and coordinate other events for our former wedding clients.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, Jade. So, I want to tell a little story about how Jade and I met, how she became my mentor. I just remember I reached out to her one night. First, we met through another industry professional, and I was able to see her in action. And I sent her an email one night, and I said, I think I want to get into weddings more. Now, if any of you out there know, I do not proclaim to be a wedding planner. I let people know, hey, I'm a wedding coordinator. If you need that service or day of coordination, I can provide that. But Jade has that industry down. Let me just tell you, she knows her stuff. So I wanted to mentor under her. And so she said, absolutely. And from there, we kind of built a relationship. And I feel like I can ask her for any questions I have about the wedding industry. She's my go-to. So I want you guys to know if you want a wedding planner, she's the one to go to. Um, so I did want us to kind of dive into the wedding planning and coordination, Jade. Give us some industry tips, as well as tips for clients if they're looking for wedding coordination or wedding planning. What are some things that you can give us some guidance on that?
As far as clients, couples that are engaged, um, I think it's very important that your booking your wedding planner is the first, and if not the first, the second thing you need to book. We tie right up there with venues. And sometimes venues win because we have couples that have known from day one, oh, I want to get married at XYZ, and you know that it books up quickly. It's okay to go ahead and book that venue, but your next call should be to a wedding planner so that we can help you navigate through your budget and each line item to make sure that now that you've got this venue, you can make it look like you want to, financially and with your vision. So I think that's a key one. I'd also say that if you are tied to a budget and you're going to go that route before a planner, you need to at least know kind of what your guest count is going to be, because some of these venues you're like, oh, they're beautiful, they're this, they're that, but you don't know the capacity of that venue. So it's going to be very uncomfortable if you book this beautiful venue that can accommodate 150 guests for a seated reception and your guest list is 225, because now you've either A, got to move venues, or two, uninvite some of your friends and family, and that's never fun.
Mhm. Awesome. So, okay, so what about those who are like myself? We just focus on coordination. What are a few points you can give event planners who are just coordinating a function? What are about 3 points you can give us on some things we need to make sure that we focus on with the client once we've already booked? What's the next step from there, or the next few steps from there?
First and foremost, I would say make sure your client is completely aware of what you are responsible for versus what you're not responsible for. So if you are responsible for putting out the favors on the favor tags, that needs to be discussed. If you're going to be assembling goodie bags, that needs to be discussed. It needs to be very clear what the scope of services is for your specific day of coordination package. In addition to that, it is very important for you guys to read each and every line of every contract that your vendor has signed so that you can help them see what they've missed. So, for instance, if you're reading a contract and it says, the DJ, I need to have a table, I need to have this much electricity, I need to have a solo outlet. I guarantee you the customer just said, oh, it's the DJ, he needs electricity. Building's got that.
Right.
So it's up to you to read through that and then have a sit down with your client to say, okay, I've read all your contracts. These things jumped out at me. And then for you to explain it to them in layman's terms and show them why it's of importance.
Awesome.
So that's a good one. And then also reach out to the vendors as soon as you're contracted, just as, hey, this is who I am. This is what we do. We've been contracted by your client to kind of take it from here. We'll be your point of contact going forward. We're not taking over. We're just kind of the liaison between you and them. So if you have questions, concerns, or suggestions, please direct those to us.
Mm. These are great.
Thank
Okay.
you.
These are really great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just recap what you just said, just for those who I forgot to actually mention. Hey, you guys, get a pen and piece of paper out. So first with as far as um if you're talking to your client, you want to make sure, even if they already have their venue, you want to make sure you know the parameters of their wedding. And then the most important thing from there is the guest count, because you don't want them to have to move from one venue to the next or change their guest list. So I just want to make sure I got everything on that. Did I get everything that you said about that?
Yes. I also said that booking a wedding planner and booking a venue are your two most important bookings once you're engaged.
Perfect. Okay, awesome. And then as far as if you are the planner or if you are the wedding coordinator, you want to make sure that you provide some awareness to the clients on your role and responsibilities. So that's number one. And then number
Mhm.
two, you want to have a complete understanding of the contracts that they have with their vendors. Is that correct? And the last one I
Yes.
got is to reach out to the vendor and just let them know who you are and really build that rapport with them and that camaraderie so that they know who you are on the day of, basically,
Yeah,
and
it
help out
really helps. It makes a difference than when you just show up and you start barking orders at them. They're like, wait a minute, who is she?
for you.
And who she thinks she talking to?
Right.
But when you've reached out 30, 60, 90 days in advance to say, hey, this is us, this is what we'll be doing, they're accustomed to receiving email communications from you. It makes it a little more digestible to receive direction from you on the day of.
Nice. That is a great point, because you just never know how they're going to receive that if you haven't already built that rapport. So
Mhm.
yeah, that's great advice. Well, I think this pretty much concludes our lunchtime lessons. Again, you guys, I've mentioned to you several times we're having our 10-year anniversary, and this is all a part of that live stream series. And we're going to be celebrating on March 26th from 1 to 4. We do have some tickets we will be getting out to you guys very, very soon, because again, we're only 6 days away. So definitely, yeah. So definitely want to make sure that we get that information to you. But I want Jade to go ahead and close us out with all of her social media handles, how you can reach her, how to get in touch with her. For those of you out there who are looking for interns, she is a great person to work up under and learn from. And she just makes it so seamless for her clients. I mean, to see her in action is really a treat. So, Jade, go ahead and let us know how we can get in touch with you.
Absolutely. The website is www.j, that's just my first initial last name. So it's www.jladsonweddings.com. Ladson is Ladson. We're on social media everywhere as J Ladson Weddings. We had a little snafu with Instagram, so it's J_Ladson Weddings. But that's where you can find us. We've also just launched a course for aspiring wedding planners or either wedding planners that have been in the industry but just said, I don't know if I'm doing this right. So we have that course available. We also have our 6-month mentorship program, as well as an ebook for aspiring planners. So those are some of the big things we're working on. We're also like just a couple weeks away from a total rebrand, which I'm super excited about. Hope you guys will follow us along for that. But that's it. We are definitely in these social media streets at J.Ladson Weddings.
Awesome. And Jay, thank you so much again for just mentoring me and just kind of cultivating the relationship whenever I need you. I just want you to know I'm so grateful and appreciative. Anytime I've reached out, you've always been so open and kind. And this is such a small industry. So to have kind of a wedding mentor like yourself, I'm really grateful for that. So I did want to say that. And again, thanks for joining us for our lunchtime lessons. I hope you
Thank
have an
you.
amazing week, amazing rest of your day. And thanks for celebrating our 10-year with us on this live.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Have a good day, okay?
You too. Bye bye.
Bye.